Welcome back to another episode of the Open Mic Podcast with me, your host, Tom Hirst, brought to you by Richland Source, Newsroom After Hours. Today we have Mr. VaunDoom himself up in the building. Please introduce yourself, sir.
Yo, what's poppin'? You heard the man. It's your boy VaunDoom. I'm here. You're here.
Toronto, I'm here.
Yeah.
You see that DJ Khaled clips of him saying I'm here all the time. I huge fascination with that man. So
there's back in the day when he used to do Snapchat, I was obsessed with his one snap he would always do because he has like a flower garden.
Okay.
And he would just caress the leaves and be like, I love you. I love you. Because he was saying like positive affirmations, make things grow, and he would just be like, I love you. I would crack the heck up. Bro.
Dude, his Snapchat is gold. It's like a hidden gem of meme ology, I guess. Meme history. I don't know.
Every time I see bro, wherever he's at on a boat or whatever, drinking, he just gets, oh my God, that dude is hilarious.
He really is, man. Me and my girlfriend quote him back because I quote him so much as a joke with her that she bought me one of those, those little pop figurine things. Oh, yeah. She got me a DJ Khaled one for my birthday.
That's hilarious.
Right. So it's right on my mantle next to my Nutcracker collection.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, so you got an album coming out.
Yeah.
Curse of Man.
The Curse of Man, March 17th. It's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. So I'd like to get into two various areas. One, I don't know a lot of your background as an artist.
Okay.
I know this is actually, unfortunately, on a lot of my problems when playing shows. I don't talk to people a whole lot, so we've never actually really interacted a whole lot at shows. So
no, it's okay. I'm the same exact way.
Right. So I would like to get your background as an artist, and then talk about the new album.
Okay, cool. So I can start from the very beginning because it's pretty interesting. So to be honest with you, back in the day, I did not like hip-hop music.
Interesting.
Okay, I wouldn't say I didn't like hip-hop music.
Yeah.
I didn't like a lot of the content because I was a kid, and it was funny because I really had an extreme fascination with music.
Yeah.
A really extreme fascination with music. In fact, I remember that I had a fascination with Busta Rhymes, and I had a fascination with classical music. And then my mom bought me a tape recorder. This was like when I was like 5 or 6.
Okay.
My mom bought me a tape recorder. We'd play on the radio all the time. Then I heard this weird song. It was like rock and roll, opera, and like what we call it now as analog and warmth. I felt the texture of this weird song and this weird dude singing really, really high. And I'm like, who are these people? Come to find out, it was Queen. And I recorded the song, and I would play it over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Interesting.
Specifically the part where he goes into the piano, like the little crescendo, Beelzebub, and then they would do that part because there's so many. In fact, couple weeks ago, I listened to, because on YouTube there's stems. They like have stem performances.
Where they separate the
they separate everything, bro.
Yeah.
Some of the harmonies my man Freddie did. When you hear them in just stem wise, they don't make sense. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. But all together, I'm like, this dude is insane. I don't get it. Yeah. But I would play that when I was a kid over and over again, like that specific part. And then like I was like, why not knowing that like my ears are extremely sensitive to this stuff. Yeah. And then I started like taking like songs and just looping them and then recording myself. Like I started sampling before I didn't even know what sampling meant.
Yeah. You stumbled onto it.
Yeah.
Through your own methods mentally.
Right. And so I started music. I like my fascination with music. Yeah. I started to warm up to hip hop. But my fascination with music started when I was like a young lad. Yeah. When I was like 5 or 6 or 7 or something. And then I lived in Youngstown. And then
really? That's where I'm from.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Home. Man.
Yo. That's sick.
That's crazy.
So my whole dad's side's from Liberty, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, my mom and dad both graduated from Liberty High School.
1701 Jacobs Road.
Dang.
Yeah. You know do you know where the McGuffey Center used to be?
Ish.
Around like Hubbard and all of that other
okay.
stuff.
Yep.
You know, Sparkles.
Yeah.
My man. Bro, I don't know. I get real excited.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's so wild.
Yeah. So
interesting.
So in 2000 we moved from Youngstown to Mansfield.
Okay.
And then
we moved here in 2005.
That's crazy, bro.
Dude, anyway, sorry, continue.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So like that whole fascination with music thing completely went out the window when we moved, right?
Yeah.
So because like I wanted to do a whole bunch of stuff like as a freaking kid. I wanted to be like a scientist. My mom used to give me like you know, science sets for Christmas and stuff.
That's cool.
But it wasn't until around junior high school, because I really wanted to be a basketball player.
Okay.
And then I found out I was like not tall enough. And then like I started to get into like cartoons. I really liked the Power Rangers and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I got into this weird foreign medium that people would call people nerds for watching.
Right.
And then like I could draw too, and I was like, oh snap.
Yeah.
This stuff is cool. And so like started watching the show Toonami with all these crazy anime shows, and then I got into drawing. I found out my dad could draw. Okay. And then that bug clicked, and I started doing a lot of art. And then it was when around junior high school, I would do track. And then me and the homies would always go to track meets, like Friday nights, the lights, everything was really dope. And we would go to the other teams, and like the homies would freestyle, and I would beatbox. And then that's cool. That fascination started to come back.
Yeah.
Technically, it just never left. I just never had a medium to express myself with.
Yeah, it just went dormant.
Right, until high school. And my homie, Brian Navarre, I told myself if I ever get rich, I'm going to give that man some money. Brian Navarre, he was this white kid making rap videos and stuff. Okay. And I would beatbox all the time. Yeah. And he was like, hey, bro, like, why don't you just make beats, man? I'm like, sure. Yeah. Because at the time, like, I never knew what this stuff was or anything like that. Yeah. And then he gave me a CD one day of, like, FL Studio 5 or 6. Okay. And, like, Sony Acid Pro 7. So for those that don't know, before, like, Logic or Pro Tools, like, Sony Acid Pro was like the doll to use or something like that, you know. So he gave me the CD, and I burned the software for our FL Studio users, you know, the demo. Got the demo, and I started messing around with FL Studio around like 7th, 8th grade. Okay. Hated it. It was trash to me. I didn't like it. Yeah. I didn't like the fact that I couldn't see what I was like putting together instead of using the little freaking dots or whatever. Yeah. Acid Pro was way more my thing. It shows you the wave stems. It shows you this and that. I could look at the drum patterns and stuff, cut stuff up. So I started using Acid Pro more. I would use FL Studio since it was a demo. Okay. I could buy, you know, you can bypass that by taking whatever instrument you have. You can't save it, but you can export it. Okay. So you can export your sounds. And so the demo of FL and Sony, this thing, they had what is it called? Firewire or something like that? Yeah. Rewire. Yeah. Where they can talk to each other, right?
Firewire cables.
Yeah. So I would take the piece that I got from FL or whatever, or a bass line, put it on Sony. And if I felt like changing it, I would change it, right? Okay. And then when I got done with it, it will like change on Sony Acid Pro too. Okay. So I started making beats doing that. And then my homie gave me a CD of like horror movie like things. Like, man, you know, make something out of that. And that's when I started really getting into sampling. Yeah. And that's when I discovered sampling. Like, at heart, I'm more of like a sample-based producer more than anything. I just love doing that. Yeah. And that's kind of what happened. I started making beats around high school. I really got into it around college. my mom's basement was kind of like the spot for me and the homies.
Yeah.
Like I took my mom's computer. She didn't use it. I took my mom's computer down in her basement, and then I got a microphone from Radio Shack from Lexington when it was up.
Classic.
And, yeah. And interestingly enough, my mom's basement had a bar. And then I would just take the computer, put it over there, put the microphone up.
Okay.
And then the homies would come and record.
That's
and then they would record to my beats, or they would record to some other stuff. Cats would pay me in high school to record and things like that. But it got to the point where like cats wasn't recording on my beats as much, as more that they just wanted to do something with their own thing. So I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah. And
I was like, well, shoot, if y'all ain't gonna do it, I guess I will. And so I made this album called Black. It's horrible. Some of my homies think it's like one of the best pieces of work I've ever done.
Isn't that the worst?
It's okay. So it's like it's more of like a hip hopper type of thing.
Okay.
Because
Sick.
So it's okay. So like
sick.
So I used to make like little, in your little manga books in high school.
Yeah.
I had a comic called The Odyssey. Not like The Odyssey, but it was like 120 something pages. I drew all of it.
That's amazing.
But to me, drawing takes too long.
Yeah.
So making music is faster for me. So I would take my ideas that I would draw out, and then I would rap about them.
Okay.
So
that's cool.
So Black is about this dude. He was like a drug dealer, whatever, and he sacrificed his soul to this demon guy for power, right?
Yeah.
And then like at the end of the album, like his beloved like gets killed because of it.
Okay.
And like him and this demon fight, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like the idea sounds cool,
yeah,
but the way I did it is trash. It's horrible. It's disgusting. I mean, like there's really cool parts to it, but like it's awful. And so I started doing that, and then that was in 2011.
Okay.
And then like I started really like, oh, this is cool. So I started expanding my ideas. But like my first couple of albums were complete and utter garbage. It was trash.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know, I used to rap like some Shakespearean dude. I don't know why I did it. I thought it was cool, but it was awful. So like my first couple of albums, there was like Black, Sanctus, Five. I named my albums really stupid names too. Like I thought I was like some freaking, I don't know, like some Latin guy, some Shakespearean opera. I don't know, like British literature or something. I don't know. It was really weird. But like it was all anime themed and all this.
Like classical side coming out.
Yeah, but it was like weebish.
Yeah.
Not like I didn't make it cool. It was weebish. Like it was like borderline, like it was dumb.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff I did, like I said, my ideas were cool.
Yeah. You're finding yourself. Finding your persona. Yeah.
But like how I did them were trash. It was until I made this series called Metacortex. I can't remember when that was. 2013, 14. I made this album called Metacortex. There was Metacortex, The End, The Beast, and something else. The End, The Beast, and the something. I don't know. It was a 3-part series. I made it. It was really cool. I think the first album, I think I like it the most.
Okay.
Wait, was it that? It was The End, the Beast, and the Power. That's what it was. The End, The Beast, and the Power. I think it's called The Power. And that's when I really started to like get good, I guess.
Okay.
And then after that, I got hooked up with my man Grant Senior. He's from New York. Shout outs to Grant Senior. That's my guy. He's a real cool cat.
Yeah.
We created this series called Hey Zeus. Right? Hey Zeus 1, sorry Grant, garbage. It was awful. Hey Zeus 2, work of art. Probably one of my best creations I've ever made.
Okay.
I made half of the beats. He got half of the beats from wherever he got them from. There's this song called Masamune Soul. Everybody says it's like the best song on the song. It was just me and him going back and forth, just rapping, like going hard on it. Jesus 2 is an amazing piece of work. So that was around 14, 15-ish or something.
Okay.
And then I made no, I'm sorry. I made this album called Paragon first. Then we made Jesus too.
Okay.
Paragon was like a really cool album. It was so Paragon is like, if you look at it in the dictionary, it means like the perfect model of something. But like the whole album was about how nobody's perfect.
Okay.
So there's that. And then Jesus 2 was tight. And then after that, I get a little hazy. I don't remember too much of stuff. But I think I really started getting like really dope was when me and my homie Courtney Lewis, shout out to Courtney, aka Fernando. We made a collab, a couple albums called The Undefeated of the East. The Undefeated of the East, that's a based off the anime G Gundam.
Oh,
if
nice.
anybody knows Domon Kashu and Master Asia is the Undefeated of the East.
Okay.
So I'm Master Asia and he's Domon Kashu.
Nice.
So like I'm like the master and he's like the student.
Okay.
So but together we're like the Undefeated of the East.
That's
and
it.
we made that album. We did the first one. The first one was dope as crap, and then the second one is even doper because we got like most of like Mansfield's like best artists on there.
Okay.
And I think it's crap because I think that album is hella underrated because it was at a time that there was this narrative that Mansfield artists like rappers don't like to do stuff together when I had like most of them on the thing, and I think and people was like ignoring it because it wasn't some I don't know, man. I feel like sometimes it's because I'm not from Mansfield that people don't really like embrace the things that I do as much. But I don't know. That's just me. I don't know if that's real or not, but I don't know. I just see it. But yeah, like I've been making music since 2011.
Man.
And but like my first half, like I have a whole generation of albums. It's crazy. Like my first half was really, really bad.
Yeah.
But my second half is like really, really good. And like I said, from Jesus to now, I think I have some really, really good stuff.
Yeah.
I have some really good stuff. I think, some of my favorite albums are like Black Gods and Shooting Stars is dope. This new album, I think this new album is like my best.
Okay.
Like lyrically, production-wise, it's my best.
Yeah.
A lot of people sleep on my EP, Battle World Versus 13. That's where the song Heavy Arms is on that everybody loves when I rap. And yeah, I think I'm pretty tight.
So what do you think? What switched? You said from the beginning half to the second half. What kind of started clicking in your head?
Oh no, I just got better skilled with like technique, production, music,
honing the craft over that time.
Honing the craft. I also matured a little bit, and I stopped rapping like I was Shakespeare. It's freaking dumb. And then, I grew up a little bit, started to learn different process. I mix and master all my stuff. Yeah. So I started learning how to make things, mix things better, makes things sound more clearer, actually like learn to like I used to take these albums, I would record on a beat and just put it out. Like it was gross. Yeah. It was disgusting. But I learned, it was just basically honing my craft and learning my skills. Being better at flows, doing better with wordplay, things making sense here and there. Yeah. I like doing like really cool things with words, entendres, things like that, but making sure everything makes sense. I'm really good at making concepts. Yeah. And like doing like multiple layers in the concepts and stuff like The Curse of Man is a prime example of that. Yeah. Because The Curse of Man is, at first, The Curse of Man is supposed to be like a Dark Souls themed album. Oh, okay. Because I get a lot, like I theme a lot of my albums, like my concept albums on certain things because I think it's cool. Yeah, yeah. Like Black Gods and Shooting Stars is based off this anime called Shigarui Death Frenzy. Okay. Nagare Boshi is like one of their like secret techniques or something. Okay. And it's Japanese for shooting stars. And so the Black Gods part is it was around that whole political time where Trump was president and people were like being really racist. So I made like Black Gods and Shooting Stars. So I did that. So that's really cool. This thing of mine and this thing I've built, they're based off like The Godfather And in this one, The Curse of Man, it's like a Dark Souls themed thing.
Okay.
But like it has its Dark Souls theme, but it's like so much more crap in there.
Yeah.
But it's cool. But yeah. I just started to just, do things better. I just improved.
Yeah. Yeah. Just grinding it.
Yep.
Grinding your way through it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Man, quite the legacy so far, man. It's amazing to look back and see the progress of doing something for that long and seeing the work pile up and being able to look back and watch and see those steps and make conscious note of them.
Yep.
Yep.
It's kind of like, I'll say this though, like some of the stuff that I did, I kind of feel bad because as you get older, like stuff is more honed and more mature and everything, but at the same time I was like a young kid really taking my imagination to like the greatest heights, and there's some beats that I look back on, I'm like, what was I doing? This is amazing. Just because of my imagination. But now you've been scarred by the guise of life. and the curtain opens up, and you gotta clock in 26 hours a day, 30 days a week, and you can't do anything, and you get old and your knees arthritis, stupid stuff like that. But like back then, like I had some really amazing beats. Nowadays, I mean, I'm still tight, don't get me wrong, but I just look back, most of the stuff, it was my reciting my lyrics, my rapping techniques that I had to improve. Like a lot of the beats, I've changed my style throughout the years, and I think my style has improved a lot better. And like I'm more a minimalistic type of but I've always had like a Beethoven-esque vibe. For those who don't know, back in the day, Beethoven was like the father of Romantic era. If you don't know, there's Baroque, Classic, and Romantic. He was always making huge, big pieces and symphonies. Everything was aggressive. I'm more like of aggressive, like I call my music combat rap. Because like I make everything hard and rough and like you're like kung fu combat, But it was my techniques are a lot better. And I'm glad I'm improving. I think I get better each album, to be honest. Well, I mean, at some point in time, it all starts compounding. Like the lessons, the growth, the consciousness of effort, it compounds, and you can just roll that back into itself, and create a much stronger, firmer foundation that you bounce off of, That's sick. That's real sick. Especially I'd love, again, I love anime a lot, and so like having, I think I was thinking about this actually earlier, the interesting commonalities between rappers that are into things like anime and with Wu-Tang and Kung Fu and stuff like that like, as you said, that aggressive style I think comes out in that type of genre of media, of entertainment. And so like I think it's that also coupled with like the pursuit of lyricism and the forethought in that, I think those two go hand in hand, and I think it maybe comes from a lot of like the Japanese form of work ethic and honor and like craft honing, I think, I don't know. That's funny. That's funny you say that, because it's not too many rappers that I'll really like have conversations with and like completely defend, but I'll fight people over Wu-Tang. Like seriously. I always tell everybody, what do I always say? Rayface, the Chef Killer, is my favorite rapper. Which is Ghostface and Raekwon. I can't separate the two. But that's where I got my early styles from, like like the RZA and everything, and Only Built for Cuban Links is like my favorite album. I mean, like that Supreme Clientele and Liquid Swords, they always fight. Well, I guess it just depends on the day.
Absolutely.
But yeah, because that's why I say my music is like combat rap, because I see hip hop now, like I've always seen it as like an art form. It's a skill.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've always felt like the way I make my music and the way I write my lyrics is basically like it's almost like martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been like honing my martial arts for so many years.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I can, I'm a black belt in this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's cool you say that, because like, you got your like the animes and their themes and stuff like that. It's kind of like the same way.
Yeah.
And it's cool because I use like certain samples and skits and stuff like that of certain animes in that type of format.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool you mentioned that, because that's exactly how I see this. I don't know.
Yeah.
This might be like an old way of thinking though, because like nowadays young cats just like see the genre for fun, and that's the way you do it. I mean, it's you could see the genre any way you want to, as long as you enjoy it and have fun with it and you benefit from it.
For sure.
But like for me, like I've always seen it as a discipline. I've always seen it as an art form. I take the craft of like not only like writing stuff, but I really take the craft of making beats and sampling, chopping stuff up really, really, really seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
My mother hates hip hop. She thinks like, you guys are destroying kids' lives and you're taking people's music. I'm like, bro, I get it. You're an older generation, but like, this here is an art form.
Yeah.
It takes a lot. Like people think like, oh my God, but I bet you, take somebody that criticizes like beats and sampling, put them in front of an MPC and see what they do, and they can't do anything. Like it takes a lot of creativity. And it takes a lot of precision to be able to take a piece and chop it up, rearrange it, and make somebody listen to it and can't recognize where you took that from. So like
absolutely.
I really take that art form extremely seriously. Like
if
you go on my TikTok, I'm an old man, because I'll be talking about, what are you guys doing? Like cats on TikTok, they just be like, here, take this. I'm like, bro, where's the challenge? Where's the skill? Like, what are you guys doing? So I take like how I make hip hop music very seriously.
It definitely shows in the genres that you're portraying and the way you're portraying it and where you're coming from with it, because it's always what my favorite analogy, metaphor, whatever, using creating the pen as a sword, from like old Wu-Tang and all of that. I think it's such a beautiful contrast to something so violent and so pretty at the same time, which is kind of like anime battles in general, a lot of those themes. So I definitely dig it.
And that's me. My pen is my most deadliest weapon. So
that's sick. So so tell us about this upcoming release.
Okay, so The Curse of Man is this album I made. So I was trying to promote my album before it, This Thing I've Built, which was a sequel to This Thing of Mine.
Okay.
And it was around the pandemic time, around the political times and stuff. And wait, which one did I do first? This Thing of Mine or Shooting Stars? No, it was This Thing I've Built. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm tripping.
Okay.
I make so much stuff I can't
absolutely
keep up with it. But so I was trying to like let people know about this album. I was making videos and all types of stuff. But I was on like social media and just seeing how people reacted to how the times were. And unfortunately, there was a lot of not good things on social media. You got your presidents, your politicians. The elections are coming, and then you'd have the George Floyd thing that triggered a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of mess. Black Lives Matter, riots, marches, things like that. You have a lot of I used to be into politics real big, but now I think politics are like there have to be a source of evil in my for me. Because the fact that you think you can be cool with somebody and never know their political orientations, and as soon as you find out and you don't agree with them, like you're a libtard, or you're like you're conservative, like you hate conservatives or something like that. I think like politics is almost as worse as racism nowadays because, like I said, like you see people say the worst to each other just based off what color you like, based off politics. And after George Floyd was passed away, there was so much discourse, and I was like, why are people acting like this? Like, why are people so okay with like deep going into the darkest parts of themselves and releasing it in public, especially on Twitter, because Twitter, oh my God, Twitter, you have people make burners accounts and will say the harshest things, the darkest things about people. And so I really felt convicted about it, and I was like, why are people like this? Why are we so like really bad? Why do we give in to certain things that shows the worst in us? And it was when I was thinking about that that I was like, and at the time I was really nerding out over Dark Souls, and I was playing Dark Souls 3, and I was doing the DLC around the time. I think it was like the last DLC. I think it was called the shoot. What was it? The city, the curse. I forgot, but it was around that time that I was like, I just did this album, but like, cause like when I do music, like I don't really, I mean I do a lot, but I don't do anything unless I feel like I really, really, really need to say something. And so after George Floyd now, I was like, I feel like I need to say something, because I thought the concept was really interesting, because I was like, okay, why do people kind of do this? Why do they, dig deep in themselves and show the worst of them, like the worst of humans, and put it out in public? And why are people so comfortable with it? And so I thought of the curse of man. And I'm like, okay, that sounds kind of cool. And like I said, it was like Dark Souls themed, and it was supposed to be like a 4-song EP, because I just felt like I wanted to say stuff. Then I started making the beats, and then more crazy stuff I started to see, and then more just ideas that just come in, like, and that was like a couple years ago. And I took a week, like maybe last year, and just like wrote, and then made the beats, and then recorded everything, and I had like 4 songs. And then, like I said, I started making more songs, and I was like, and then I built this whole concept together, and it got even better to me, because I was like, okay, well, let's make it like different scenarios of human weakness. And so I have songs about certain vices, and certain things that make people give in, and show like the weakness in humans. And it's I like the album is in like 3 parts, because those are the 3 parts that I felt personally very felt significant to the album. So like the first part is basically about just giving in to certain things that bring out the darkness in people. Which is like you can be anything, like drugs, like or like sex maybe, or just like just certain obsessive things that people might abuse, that kind of go wrong. And then you have like the second part where it's about like black violence in the community, from the George Floyd thing. And then like the last part is like more personal, intimate songs about certain situations like many people could have possibly related to, or possibly can feel about themselves. And even though it's like called The Curse of Man, there at the end of the album there's like I have like a light at the end of the tunnel type of thing. So unfortunately I didn't want to, because my last album was a concept album, and I try and alternate. I'll do a concept album, and then I'll do like a fun type of album where I'm just spitting bars. But this one was like really important. And I feel like a lot of people will like it because it's so relatable.
Yeah.
The couple of guys that I listen to the album that I respect, they said it made them think. Anytime I let somebody listen to it, they said it makes them think. It makes them.
That's a great compliment.
Yeah, it makes them think about themselves, which is what I wanted the album to do. So that's why I'm really happy about it, because one of my homies, her name's Micah, she's on the album, and I let her listen to it, and she was telling me while she was recording some vocals. Yeah. She was like, I listened to it, and it was like. And I was like, yeah, man, I do this too much, and I was thinking I'd do that too much, and I think I need to get this together. And I was like, it made you think about all of that? And it was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, bet. That's what I was going for. So
I love it.
Yeah, so it really makes you think about some things and personally.
Yeah.
And the whole concept of the album is recognizing human weakness and seeing that even though you have these vices or curses, if you will, or these things that might put you in dark places, you're always going to be bigger than these struggles or these vices or these addictions that you may have. Like you can get into them, but you're very capable of getting out. Even though it might be tough, you're very capable of getting out of it. So it's,
that's sick.
Yeah, it's a serious album. I wish it wasn't as serious, but it is.
Sometimes you just write and it takes you where it takes you.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I always make like weird concept albums like that, and I try not to, because I'm always like, man, I need to make something that slaps, man. I need to make something that bumps in the club and everything like that. And I'm like, I'm not even like that in the first place. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an interesting album. Like I said, when I got the same reactions from multiple people, like saying, this makes me think. I don't think like, and one of my homies was like, I can't find nothing wrong with this. I'm like, oh yeah,
sick.
So
That's so sick.
I think this is it's a cool piece of work. I hope people enjoy it for real.
Yeah. With your major in beat production, with the minor in the hip hop, if you will, or the rapping, with your major being in beat production, with albums like this, especially being concept minded, do you have a forethought in the way that you produce a beat for the specific aspects of the album that it's going on? Like you said, it's in 3 parts. So is there like kind of a sonic perception that you want to push with the way you make the beats for it? If that makes sense.
Well, I'll think of an idea of what I want to do, and I guess it just depends on the feeling of a beat, because I'll make some stuff, and I'll have an idea. It's like I'll take a sample or something. Okay, for example, I'm on a excuse me, I have 30 alarms because I have ADHD and I don't pay attention to anything. But I'll take there's this I'm on, Jay Versace.
Sounds familiar.
He's a producer. He's been producing for a lot of like famous rappers, but I'm on his Discord.
Okay.
And he has a section called like samples. And some people just post certain stuff. And I'm like, nobody's really commenting or saying anything about these. So I took one of them. I was like, I made something out of it, and it was really dope. And I just did it because I was being arrogant, and I was like, you guys can't do cool things with these samples, but I can. And so I made the beat, and then after I started to think about the concept of the Curse of Man, I'll take some beats and I will listen to them, and I'll be like, this vibe, like that beat, it was very aggressive, it was very dark, and it was like, this is cool. I think I'll do this with that. So usually I'll come up with concepts, and then when I have my concept in mind, I'll take some beats, I will listen to them, and then I will see what beat will match a specific idea that I have. And if it matches, we're in there. We're in the game.
Okay.
So, and sometimes I rarely. I don't think there's not a song that I've ever wasted, because I know there's like a lot of people that will like record 100 songs and then pick 16 of them and make an album. I don't do that.
Yeah.
Every song, every beat has a purpose.
Okay.
So for this album, I took these, like every time I make a beat, it's intention. It's intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know what song is going to come out of it, but the song is going on the album. It has to. So usually, like I said, I'll come up with the concept first, and then I'll make the beats, and then if the idea matches the beat, I'll put that there. And so that's how I usually do it. Because if something makes me feel a certain way, then I'm like, oh yeah, this is it.
Yeah. Okay, so, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Now, with the album, you said you're doing a listening party.
Yeah,
coming up.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a listening party.
A little bit of old '90s, 2000s feel there.
Yeah, it's so the idea is, I'm trying to get to a point, because at this point, I feel like I've been hanging out with certain people that I believe have more knowledge than I do when it comes to like the music and certain strategies and things. I go to Cleveland a lot. I go to Columbus a lot, and I hang out with certain people. Shout out to my man Eli Orko. He's been helping me. He's in Cleveland. He's an independent artist, and he does certain strategies and things. And I've been trying to do things more professionally.
Okay.
And I'm a big advocate. I don't know if it's smart or not, but I'm stubborn. I'm a big advocate of independent artists.
Yeah.
I research, I do too much about what labels do to artists and how they screw them over contracts. And it's crazy how you want to get an artist to become like your spearhead or whatever, and then they're the last person to get paid. Yeah. I think that's crazy to me. Yeah. So I feel like, well, we have social media now, and all you got to do is have some money, save up, pay for somebody to do videos, pay for marketing. Yeah. You can do your own marketing if you really, or if you're dedicated to it. Yeah. And you can be your own label. Yeah. Because that's all the labels are. It's just marketing. Yep. They pay for a big old budget for marketing, put you on billboards, pay for videos, do all that. Yeah. We got freaking DSLRs. You go freaking lease one at Best Buy. Get your own camera. You can go get your MacBook and record on Audacity, and then freaking learn how to mix and master yourself. Like we have everything ourselves to do what we want to do. Yeah. So when it comes to the listening party, it's kind of sort of a strategy, a way to start putting the word out there about, I'm VaunDoom. Yeah. I mean, I'm already out here, at least, around the city. People know who I am, what I do. Yeah. And, but I want to, like I said, I want to solidify, and I want to gain more fans. Come on, bro, you tripping. And I want to gain more fans. Yeah. And I think doing that and doing listening parties might even show people, like, because I've already had some artists themselves that I know say they're coming. And I also want this to be a place where artists can network, things like that. Yeah. Because I'm trying to I want to do this because specifically for the city, I want this to be a norm. Yeah. Because we're very, very, we have a wide variety of talented folks, music-wise. We got a bunch of great rappers, got a bunch of great rock bands. We got this and we got that. And there's no reason why Mansfield and everyone that's at a high level should not be succeeding. Yeah. If we have this much stuff going around. Yeah. So I feel like this could be an opportunity to show people that it's also a form of promotion, but this whole year, my whole goal was to master promotion in every source, like real life promotion, social media promotion. I took a class on social media marketing when I was in school. that was my whole goal. I can make music like the back of my hand. I'm not gonna lie, I'm tight. I'm tight. You know, I've been doing this for a long time. I know what to do.
Yeah,
I got bars. I'm tight. You got rappers. Last night I just went to go hang out to see at the electric company because Jacob, he invited me. He's like, come through, see some rappers. Everybody was hitting you. VaunDoom, bro, you tight as bear. You the GOAT. I'm like, I'm tight. That's all I'm saying. So I can do like music. It's nothing to me.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of problems. The problems that a lot of us artists have around here is the marketing.
Yeah. People
think that you could put out a hot song, put it out, and you're supposed to blow up.
Yeah,
it's not how it works. 20%, in my opinion, is the creating.
Yeah.
80% is the marketing.
Yeah.
So this whole year for me is just to master marketing. That's why ever since July, I've been doing video promos and I've been trying to do this and that. I've been trying to promote as much as I can, engaging in social media, doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
So now that the album is coming out next week, I feel like doing a listening party could give people the opportunity to network, show how artists should promote themselves, and maybe possibly this could be a normal thing for artists to do. Yeah. Because I remember my man Dick Mata, he had a listening party years ago at the clubhouse. I'm not sure if people remember. But I kind of this is all a part of my rollout because like I got a whole bunch of stuff that I want to do. This is just the beginning. So like it's basically, you know, showing people the album, getting people interested, maybe spreading the word of the album, and then possibly, you know, when the album drops, I'm only doing it on Bandcamp because, like, that's another thing.
That was gonna be my next question after this is about that aspect of it. So I'm real curious about that. Your thought behind that.
Okay, so check it out. I'll hit you with a gem. Yeah. So I'm only doing it on Bandcamp because, like, I don't know if you realize that 2023, everybody has weird ass names for everything, you know? So the reason why I'm putting this stuff on Bandcamp is because you have your fans. I call it direct consumer investment. So basically, you have your fans. If they really care about your music, they will pay for it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And plus, I don't know if you know, or I don't know if you feel this way. Yeah. But I think people make music so much and do things that they don't really think about it. Let me ask you. Yeah. Do you think making albums and all that other stuff and what you guys been doing, you don't think albums should be a luxury item? If you really think about it. Okay. And if you think of how much we put into creating music, how much we put into marketing, how much you put into merch, how much you do booking shows, thinking about concepts, creating things, studio time, you don't think that adds up to being a luxury item?
Yeah. Well, I've always thought about the juxtaposition between the painting art world to where you have famous painters who stuff will sell for 10,000 plus when they have a name for themselves, and then the music art world where it's, you know, you buy an album for $10, you know.
Exactly.
And like where that kind of disconnect actually happened and why it's
I can
viewed those ways.
I can understand the aspect of mass distribution. And making it affordable, because if you have someone that has 1,000 fans, which is to my point of why I use Bandcamp, if you have 1,000 fans and you have this piece of music that you can sell for $10, that's $100,000. That's right. Yeah. Compared to having 100,000 streams that will give you $500. Yeah. So I guess that's the aspect of it, but at the same time, a lot of people can only make albums because of a label. So a label gives you this amount of money, you got to recoup it back. Yeah. And so they pay the distributor to make your CDs or whatever, $10, whatever like that, and then they sell that stuff. Because that's just the way it's always been, I assume. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's a lot of rappers that I know, like underground rappers, that will sell their albums for like $100. Yeah. But you got your hardcore fans that will give them than $100.
Yeah.
Because for real, if you really think about it, music is a luxury item.
Yeah.
If you really have a dope ass concept, and if you do this much money, like my freaking setup is a few $1,000s worth.
Yeah.
Over the years, a few $1,000s worth.
Yeah.
Like you said, like you could make a painting within like what, I don't know, a couple weeks, a month, and sometimes days.
Yeah.
You could sell that joint for a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
We make albums that'll take like a year or two.
Yeah.
And we sell it for like $10.99, $9.99. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But the like creating it, like the cost of creating the stuff doesn't equate to the cost of what you're paying for, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because all of that stuff is extremely significant to what you do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the reason why I go on Bandcamp is because, for one, I believe my music is good enough for people to pay for it. And I think the art, it's art.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you really invest into me, I can invest back into you. And it's also math. Because like I said, unless you're like a label person, like you're like a major label artist or whatever, and if you're extremely popular worldwide, like streams do work for you. Yeah. But for like say independent artists like myself or whatever, go on Spotify.
Yep.
And if you like put it out on Spotify, and you get a couple of streams, you don't get too much money.
Yeah.
I see at least for Spotify and some other streaming platforms, I think if you do 100,000 streams, you get around like $500.
Yeah.
You can make $500 for 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
And you're usually going to, like, what do they do? Like payouts like per month or something?
Yeah, I think it's like every other month, like every other week for a job.
So say you get 100,000. So you have to consistently get 100,000 streams every month.
Yeah.
To get $500.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't even live off that half of the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, then you'd have to get what? 200,000 streams just to get $1,000 a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Where you could get, okay, like I said, you could get 100,000 streams that get you $500 a month, or you could get 1,000 people to buy your album for $10. You get $10,000. Yeah. To where you can invest back into what you're doing, buy merch, get shirts, do whatever you want to, do book stuff for shows, and you probably make way more doing that and invest in yourself more to get more, rather than just putting your stuff on Spotify. Because
that's fair.
The thing about Spotify, it's just an easier way for people to listen to your music. That is a great advantage, yes. Yeah. But being able to, like, it's just going back to like hard copies for real, digitally. Yeah. You know, if that makes any sense.
Right.
So it's the fact that artists, we are important people, you know what I'm saying? We also make a living. Yeah. We want to make a living off of this stuff. That's like the main goal, right? Yeah. So I feel like if you could, pay me $10, if you could get like a good ass fan base to invest in you. Yeah. And keep investing in you to where you can invest in your ideas and make more money and doing that other stuff, it'll pay off rather than waiting a month. Yeah. Just for getting $500. Most people don't even get 100,000 streams a month, independent artists or whatever, like local artists or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I always think that that's an important thing. I always do my stuff on Bandcamp, and then maybe a little while later I put the stuff on Spotify. Yeah. But I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. I want my money. Yeah. To be honest with you, I did this. I paid this much. People look forward to your stuff, and people that look forward to your stuff will pay for your stuff. Yeah. Yeah. If it's good, they'll pay for it. So I don't know, why not do that?
Yeah.
And it's worked. My past couple albums I put on Bandcamp, it's worked.
Yeah.
And I was able to invest and put more back into stuff like, like my Divine Might stuff. I was able to pay for that and then make more money off of that I could, buy more equipment for stuff like, that's the main goal. And plus
reinvest in the business.
Right.
Yeah.
And plus, like, man, I'm a hustler, man. I've been doing this joint ever since junior high school, bro.
Yeah.
When Pokemon cards came out back in junior high, I made my own and I sold them for 50 cents and people bought them. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. Like, I'll do whatever I got to do.
Yeah.
But that's the main thing. I believe us artists are very important people.
Yeah.
And I believe we deserve to have we deserve to get paid what we owed.
Yeah.
What we're owed.
Yeah.
When it comes to creating our music, rather than just these companies to make you pay $9.99 a month for this streaming platform that they're going to get paid by millions and millions and millions of people, and then you stream our art and you like barely get a how you gonna tell me that my song is worth like 0.000000957 cents?
Yeah.
That's preposterous.
Yeah.
That's why it only works for like famous people.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's that long-term risk versus reward kind of thing.
Right.
Either long-term, hopefully I get big enough that I can get enough sales to make money off of it.
Facts.
Or short-term, I'm going to try and actually make what I feel like I'm worth in the beginning.
Big facts.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I typically I would have normally disagree with that just because I think the word of mouth aspect of Spotify is very beneficial. But I mean, the way you describe it, it definitely made me rethink that.
Yeah.
I think that's a very fair point and makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, man. I think we deserve to get paid what we're owed.
Yeah.
Like streaming platforms will most definitely get you out there. Doing playlists will get you out there. But I always tell the homies, would you rather have 100,000 streams to get $500 a month, or would you have 100,000 people buy your album for $10 if you get a chance to? You know what I'm saying? And it always going to adds up. Hard copies are always like, direct consumer investments are always going to be a better deal. At least in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, man, I thought about this stuff a long time.
I love it. I love it. It shows. It definitely shows.
Mm-hmm.
Sick. So yeah, March 17th is the listening party, or is that the 16th?
March 16th is the listening party, and March 17th is where I dropped the album.
Okay. And where's the listening party going to be at?
It's going to be at Diamond Studios.
Diamond Studios. Where is that
It
at?
is, what is it, 888 South Diamond? You know the Hursh Drugs or whatever?
Yeah.
It's right.
Okay.
It's that our little art gallery.
Yeah, Luke Beekman's, I think, is it?
Yeah. So it's going to be right there.
Yeah.
Right across the street from that big old parking lot where like
Braxton's pictures up.
The clubhouse and City Grill and all that.
Yeah. Okay, sick. Oh, that's perfect. I didn't realize that's what he was calling it.
Yeah.
Awesome,
cool.
Awesome.
What time is that going to start?
7 o'clock to 10.
Okay, 7 to 10.
Yeah.
Sick.
I know it's on a weekday. It's Thursday, but I thought, if I did it on a Friday, it's St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah.
People are not trying to be aware of themselves that night.
Very true. Very true.
So
I forgot that was coming up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really dig the idea of bringing back listening parties like that, because I remember when I was younger, I thought they were like a really cool concept, and I never really actually was a part of them in that fashion. So I think getting people out of the internet world into face-to-face real life,
I think it'll be cool because, like I said, this album is really makes people think, and I really want to. After the album's like 20 minutes.
Oh, nice.
But after the album, I want to see if people want to have like a dialogue and just hear how people think about what they've heard and how it makes them feel and stuff. Just talk about things. Maybe even see if there's something that might they want to see later down the line from me or something like that. I think having a conversation amongst artists and stuff would be really cool.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I dig it, man. I really dig it. Sick. Anything else you want to plug, Vaughn? Anything else you have?
Oh, snap. I don't know, man. I got my Curse Man coming. It's going to drop next week. Hope people really come to the listening party.
Yeah.
I put a lot of work this is probably the most work I've ever done for an album when it comes to promotion. And I got thanks to all the homies that helped out, Micah, Deshaun, Brianna, who else? Who else was? Oh, my man Dro Jackson.
Yeah, DJ Dro.
Yeah, he's in a lot of the promos. Y'all might not know it. But
she's a hooded guy.
Yeah. So yeah, I got a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, check me out on social medias, VaunDoom on Twitter, O_H_VaunDoom on Instagram. I got VaunDoom on the Tickety Talk. Yeah, man. I hope you guys come out and like I said, I worked really hard on this project. I hope you guys listen and enjoy it. And yeah, I think that's all I got.
Sick, man. Sick. It was really a pleasure talking to you and having you in here, man.
Hey, I appreciate you having me here, man. It's really tight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be able to do more things like this again.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Sick. Well, guys, this has been another episode of the Open Mic Podcast with your host, Tom Hirst, brought to you by Richland Source, Newsroom After Hours, sponsored by Henry Screen Printing, Two Cousins Pizza, Potent Studios. If you need some merch, hit up Jake Henry. If you need some pizza, go to Two Cousins. Yeah. If you need a music video or some lighting, hit up Lee McIntosh at Potent Studios. And as always, Mansfield, Ohio is one of the greatest cities in the continental U.S.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.